Would you love to set up a business, not just in your country, but somewhere new? While the adventure of relocating to another country to conquer your chosen industry is an amazing one, you shouldn't do this without the right information. There are 190 countries in the world, and that means you need to pick carefully. So before you start cramming your things into a suitcase and waving goodbye at your familiar neighborhood, here are the best countries to start a business in no particular order. Of course, this list is based on various indicators like how conducive the environment is for foreign business owners, the stress of employing workers, taxes, the strength of the economy, and levels of corruption. Let's start the ride. Sweden. Want to approach startup heaven? It's only fitting that we start with this impressive Nordic country in the north of Europe. A look at its economic figures gives you peace of mind as Sweden experiences low inflation and high GDP. Every business needs this to thrive. How can we forget its highly skilled workforce and world-class infrastructure? We don't think there's anyone living in Sweden that has something bad to say about the work environment. However, income tax is quite high, but it's all worth it, seeing how the Swedish government puts it to good use. The money goes into the healthcare system, funding high-class education, and even sponsoring programs to help several startups find their feet. What about corporate taxes? Well, these are quite reasonable as they're 22% lower than what we would see in most developed countries. Are you surprised that it's the birthplace of innovative companies like Volvo, IKEA, and Ericsson? Not many people even know that Spotify is Swedish, but now you know. With the lack of bureaucracy and corruption, Sweden is definitely one of the best countries to start a business. Malaysia. Ever wondered why the state of Penang in Malaysia is nicknamed the Silicon Valley of the East? Well, you're about to find out. Malaysia has steadily risen to become one of the countries that encourages a suitable environment for foreigners and any business to thrive. Over the years, Penang has attracted a lot of innovative tech startups, hence the nickname. The Malaysian government is largely responsible for this positive outlook. The Southeast Asian country has a government that has been proactive in encouraging innovative young businesses to settle down in Malaysia. This includes setting up laws that make business registration processes and cross-border trade so much easier, giving small companies tax breaks, and then focusing on developing all-round infrastructure. Who wouldn't want to move to such a country? Then, there's the fact that this fast-rising hub has a highly skilled workforce, which is cheaper compared to several other countries. It's definitely a country to check out. Canada. We're back in the northern region, and this time it's Canada on our radar. This country has one of the best immigration policies you can ever find around the world. They actively encourage talented people from anywhere in the world to come around, settle down, and start businesses easily. The result, a multicultural economy that has a highly educated labor force. It's no surprise that millions of people are willing to move to Canada yearly. For entrepreneurs, they enjoy easy access to seed funding for their businesses. They also have very low corporate tax rates at 15% compared to other countries. Looking around, you have to give Canada credit for its stable economy and low corruption. It's no wonder that lots of Americans prefer setting up their businesses here, especially as they enjoy relatively free trade agreements that can extend your business markets towards the south of the border in the United States. What about successful Canadian businesses? We have the Four Seasons Hotels and IMAX. That's more than enough to convince you. Switzerland. Every year, thousands of new companies are established in Switzerland. This alone is a testament to the enabling environment that the country has for businesses. For a country with less than 12 million people, this is not bad. So why does Switzerland deserve a spot on our list? First, let's start with the politically and economically stable atmosphere. Businesses grow when they're set up in an environment that encourages them to make more revenue and access their target market. Switzerland has one of the most stable currencies in the world and score extra points for their almost non-existent corruption. This is one of the reasons why they have dominated several markets, including that of luxury watches. Today, the Swiss are taking over the tech industry with a focus on medical technology, blockchain, and several forms of fintech. This makes it the perfect place for investors to get in on startups. What about living conditions? Well, if you don't mind the lack of tropical weather and the slightly high cost of living, then moving to Switzerland is an amazing decision. Cities like Zurich, Basel, and Geneva are considered one of the best places in the world to live in. Hong Kong. The fact that Hong Kong is the gateway to China's financial center is more than enough reason to start a business in this country. With access to more than a billion people in China alone, Hong Kong is no doubt the business hub of the country. As a business owner in this city, you have instant access to dozens of opportunities, especially a convenient environment to get your business registered. Many countries make it so difficult for entrepreneurs to get the needed permits for their startups. Hong Kong wouldn't make you trace your family tree down to your ancestors just to get the go-ahead. It's also in a very comfortable location, where you can access world-class infrastructure and benefit from a trustworthy economy. The city is also super tax-friendly, giving startups more than enough time to put their revenue to good use, rather than shoveling it all back to the government. The business owners will definitely love how simple it is to trade across the border and obtain construction permits. Easy peasy. Singapore. With a score of 86.2, Singapore has maintained the second spot since 2017 as one of the 190 countries ranked by the World Bank as the easiest place to do business. It's not just World Bank that says this. Most business owners in the country will reveal that pretty much everything in the country is built to make setting up a business work for you. What's so great about Singapore? Well, there is the country's location, which is at an advantage point to access important markets. It also boasts flexible immigration policies, a professional workforce, and sensible tax jurisdiction. All of these work together to reflect the pro-business attitude of the economy, including giving entrepreneurs access to prominent opportunities that would take them beyond the local market. We're not exaggerating when we say that Singapore has one of the most business-friendly environments you can find anywhere in the world. With the corporate taxes at 17% coupled with free trade agreements and no tax on dividends, there's so much you can accomplish with your business in this wealthy country. The fact that you can easily register your business online is something worth mentioning. If you do get into any commercial dispute, you can solve this within 150 days. This may seem long when you think about it. It's way better compared to the United States. That takes about 420 days to solve commercial disputes. It's a country worth checking out. New Zealand. Our list wouldn't be complete without including New Zealand. What's not to love about this country? You can find every single thing you need to know about your industry with a simple search online. New Zealand has an online resource known as Statistics New Zealand, where business owners can check the numbers of their chosen niche, find out how well that is performing in the country, and even read on spending habits. That's not all. The World Bank reports ranks New Zealand as the best country to do business, and we believe that it has a lot to do with the absence of tough regulations and bureaucratic red tape. Business owners don't have to struggle with the tax department either, as these are not designed to run their companies to the ground. As a minority investor, you have all the protection you need to start on a high, and the process for starting a business could take just a day. So with the low cost of living, highly skilled workforce, and very little corruption, what's not to love about starting a business in New Zealand? And that's a wrap. So what do you think of this list? As an entrepreneur thinking of starting a business in another country, which is your top choice and why? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.